Good morning, everybody. We are in Brno, Czech Republic. We have a 10 a.m. bus to Katowice, Poland. So this begins our Poland adventure. We're starting in Katowice. We're going to do a day trip to Auschwitz. Then we're going to go to Kraków. And then we're going to do basically a clockwise loop to end up in Warsaw. So we're excited to start our adventure in Poland.
We have made it to Katowice and are now going to make our way to Airbnb. Chrissy peeking. And of course it's raining. It's been like raining off and on for like the last 3 days, but you know, we keep pushing through it because we have to. So
we have a hostel tonight, not an Airbnb.
Oh, okay. Well, on to our hostel.
What are you doing, babe?
Finally, after 3 days of walking around in the rain in my fabric top shoes, getting my jeans on. It's like having wet feet.
Hello, I'm in Katowice. There's the theater that's behind us. Over there is our hostel. Mike is working on some editing things, and I've been spending the morning looking at things we're gonna do in Poland, and I decided to go for a walk. There's a mall, which is always fun to go see other countries' malls. And I'm also gonna check out the train station because tomorrow morning we have our train ride to Auschwitz, and I super don't want to screw that up, so I want to kind of get a layout of how it goes. So Rossman's is like a CVS, a Walgreens. So they're all over the place in Southern Czech Republic. But I just thought this building was super cool. They have a lot of old buildings here that have stayed, and yet the bottom half have been converted to Rossman's. The classic TK Maxx. Whew. All right, and that was my mall adventure. That's the other side of the mall, and yeah, it's the exact same as an American mall. There's places you recognize, there's places you don't recognize, but I mean, clothes, sporting goods, pharmacy, craft store, lingerie, jewelry store, all the same stuff. So here I'm in kind of a center area, just to show you guys around. There's tracks that go right through. Pretty cool. So I'm going to head, so you guys can see that way, back to the hostel.
After spending pretty much the entire day editing the video that just got put up for Czech Republic,
We got ice cream.
Recorded this video, we got ice cream. Tomorrow, we are off to Auschwitz, and I'm gonna experience that. Hateful place, but everybody needs to go there to at least experience it. So that tomorrow.
Tonight's ice cream.
But tonight's ice cream.
We're on our way to Auschwitz right now. We're doing our own tour, meaning we're getting ourselves there instead of doing a guided tour. When we get there, we're doing a guided tour within the compound where we go to Auschwitz 1 first, and then we get bussed over to Auschwitz 2. I'm the kind of person who likes to learn about the history of places we go, so I've just listened. I read a bunch last night, I listened to a podcast this morning, and it's interesting that here Mike and I are taking a train to Auschwitz. Comfortable train, heated, bathroom, everything, knowing that we get to go home, but the rest of it, people who didn't actually come to Auschwitz didn't really get that. Didn't know what was going on, so it's just kind of interesting. So
Our wonderful hostel didn't come with any drapes, so we used our Turkish towels to make drapes. And now we're leaving, so would have been really bright in here otherwise because we're facing a square and the lights are on all night long.
Made it to Krakow and we've settled on our Airbnb, and now we are going to be going on a food tour.
Hello everybody, we're in Krakow. We're on our typical free walking tour that we do in the beginning of pretty much every city. And so far it's going really, really well.
We just completed the Wawel Cathedral audio guided tour, and it was very fascinating. The whole area of Poland has been taken over by so many countries and so many different religions and so many different kings, and it's been just so many influences. And you can see when you walk through the cathedral just how many different things influenced by all the kings and female kings that then put in the different types of cathedrals. So it's just a wonderful place to visit if you decide to come out here.
There was a bunch of different cathedrals and each one's different timing, and so they all look differently. Where you usually go to a cathedral in France or in Paris and it's kind of the same thing all over, but here you have some Russian art, some Romanesque art, some other stuff. It's really cool. I enjoyed it a lot. So this is an example of, in Krakow, how they've kept their original buildings but just maintained them or fixed them. So this is the cathedral, and you have the original stonework. Then the Krakow area wanted to rebuild. They couldn't because they were too expensive, so then they added brickwork. So you got both the stone and the brick. And you see that all over Krakow, which is really fun. Steps.
So today we went to the Wieliczka salt mines, and the thing that impressed me the most about them was that everything pretty much used the salt from the mines, be it the floors and how they were designed, or the many statues you find in there, artists recreated or are originals of a bunch of statues in the mines, as well as even the chandeliers that you'll find in some of the halls use salt to create most of what you see. So that was pretty cool. What did you find?
I mean, I really liked it. I liked the artist work was really good, but I love sculpture work, especially marble, and salt apparently has the same hardness as marble. So the idea of being able to carve something like that is amazing. And the way they did it is you have, they carve out all the salt and then they leave like a big old egg inside, keeps everything strong, and then they'll dig inside of it to make all their sculptures. So it's really fascinating. And these miners, you think of them as, they're just miner dudes. No, these guys were artists. Like, it was the miners creating this. So definitely worth going to. Glad we went.
Yeah, me too.
Good morning, everybody. Today we are doing something very exciting for me. We're going to a national park. So Poland has, I want to say, 6 national parks. We're going to the smallest one today, which is spelled Ojcoy. No idea how to spell it out. They only do buses from Krakow on the weekends, a very special bus. They use every half hour, so hopefully we can get on there. No idea how to buy the tickets. I'm assuming we just buy a 90-minute ticket, but it's a little bit complicated here. And for those of you who know me well, this is my first cup of caffeinated coffee in like 4 years, because it's hard to not have caffeine on these trips. We go on an adventure. Michael's wearing a mask. Here we go on an adventure.
We took a over hour-and-a-half bus ride today to get to Ojców, a town in Poland that has this massive state park with so many trails. You got to be kind of careful what you're deciding, because you have no idea how crazy it's going to be.
Green doesn't mean easy.
Green doesn't necessarily mean easy.
Green doesn't mean easy.
So yeah, it's just a super beautiful park. There's all sorts of houses that are actually built along the trail, which is actually just the road to get in and out of the area. And the neighbors, I guess, just kind of put up with it because they know they're living in a state park. But some of them went above and beyond, and they actually set up little restaurants that you can actually stop into and get coffee and food and all sorts of stuff. So anyways, we are so far enjoying our time into this.
Did we make it to the top?
Probably. We've noticed as we've been traveling through Czech Republic and now Poland is that you see all these lovely stamps or tags of trails. So you know exactly when you're going along in the countries where you are and what trail you're on by these markers right here. It's really, really cool.
It's a natural staircase. We're done with the national park on our hike. It was a very long hike. And now we are waiting for our bus that only runs every half hour. So we walked over to this church, St. Joseph's Church. It used to be a bathhouse and they made it into a church. And the reason they made it into a church is that at the time, Tsar Nicholas said that no church, nothing sacred could be put on this land. And so the townspeople, to show him up, converted their bathhouse, which is right over the creek. They created it, made it into a church. So it's not on the land, it's on the water. So they were able to just stick it to the man. Michael, what are we doing?
We're gonna go see the newest Marvel movie today.
We're going to the mall. Mall.
After kind of a full day of just kind of chilling out and didn't really have any docket to do anything, we walked our way over to the mall to watch Shang-Chi, and that was a pretty fun ride of a movie. And then we decided this evening just to kind of get out and check it out at night because we hadn't done that yet, so let's do it. So this right here is the theater of one of the big theaters here at Krakow, and we heard from one of our guides earlier in our stay here that if you wanted to get a ticket, you're about 3 or 4 months out right now of any shows of trying to get a ticket here, but it's absolutely beautiful from the outside.
We just finished the Rheineck Underground Museum, which was cool, but at the same time it was really dark and you couldn't see a lot of the English subtitles. But basically this whole square underneath us, showing you, in 2005 they excavated it and they just found all the remnants of the old markets that used to be here, because Krakow is a center of trade. So the first part of it's kind of goofy or whatever, but then when you walk through the excavation, it's really interesting to know, like, we were like right underneath this waterfall or this fountain. We were right underneath there, so it's pretty cool. Now we are going to try and figure out a good place to eat. It's time for another Chrissy adventure on our own. We went back to the apartment. Mike is going to watch some TV. And I'm gonna go get groceries because I love getting groceries. I think that grocery stores are fun. So I'm gonna go and have fun at the grocery store. All right, do your vegetables. Go here, press the vegetable, choose which one you want. Get a little tag. That's how they do it here. My cart is full, and that means it's time to check out. Got my bags here so I don't have to pay for anything. Here I go. So I've left the mall, I've left the grocery store. I love that the grocery stores are inside the malls. I have 2 heaping bags of food, which should be 3 dinners, 3 breakfasts, and a bunch of snacks for here and there. And it cost me $80, which is about 20 bucks, which is about what we just spent for our lunch. So pretty good deal. Love grocery shopping. Good morning. Today we are going to Zakopane, which is a town at the foothills of the Tetra Mountains. So we plan to take a bus there. It'll take like 2.5 hours. Then we're just gonna see what we can do. There's a lot of hiking trails. There's a lot of gondolas and funiculars. So we'll see how it goes. Should be fun. It's a beautiful, clear day.
So after an interesting van ride from the main bus station of the city, we are up at Katowice and gonna take a gondola ride up the mountain.
Hi people, wave. Okay, before we climb up the mountain is lunchtime.